Good night, teacher. My name is Angel Sanchez, and today I would like to tell you about a topic that should concern every single one of us: the extinction of species in the Dominican Republic. This is not just an environmental issue, it is a social, cultural, and economic problem that must be addressed before it is too late. I hope that by the end of this presentation, you will feel as motivated as I do to take action and protect the incredible biodiversity of our island. Before I begin, I would like to ask you a simple question. When was the last time you walked through a forest, heard a bird sing, or saw a wild animal in the scenario of a habit? These experiences might seem ordinary today, but if we do not act responsibly, future generations may never have the opportunity to enjoy them. That thought alone should be enough to make us reflect of the importance of what I'm about to share with you. The Dominican Republic is home of one of the most unique ecosystems in the Caribbean. Our island, Hispaniola, is considered one of the world's biodiversity hotspots, meaning it contains an extraordinary variety of plants and animals that cannot be found anywhere else on the planet. Scientists estimated that approximately 30% of our native species are endemic, which means they exist only here. It is also important to mention that Hispaniola is shared between two nations, the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and both countries are affected by the same environmental crisis. However, the situation is considered to be especially critical on the Asian side due to the extreme deforestation, which has resulted in the near complete of loss of forest cover. This comparison should remind us how quickly things can deteriorate when environmental policies are not properly enforced. However, this incredible nature heritage is being threatened at an alarming rate. According to environmental organizations, dozens of species in the Dominican Republic are currently classified as endangered or critically endangered. These include animals such as the Hispaniola solenodon, the Hispaniola utia, and several species of native birds, and various freshwater turtles. If strong measures are not taken soon, these animals could be lost forever within our lifetime. Now, why is this happening? Several factors must be mentioned when we analyze the causes of species extinction in our country. First, deforestation is perhaps the most devastating cause. Large areas of native forests have been destroyed to make space for agriculture, urban development, and charcoal production. It is estimated that the Dominican Republic has lost more than 70% of its original forest cover over the past century. Without forests, animals lose their natural habits and are forced to migrate or simply die. The Sierra of Bauruco and Los Haitises, two of our most important natural reserves, are constantly being threatened by illegal logging and agricultural expansion along their borders. Second, illegal hunting and trafficking of animals cannot be ignored. Many native species are captured and sold illegally, both locally and internationally. Parrots, iguanas, and sea turtles are among the most commonly trafficked animals in our country. This practice should be punished more severely by our legal system, and border controls must be reinforced to stop the international trade of protected species. Third, pollution and climate change are also major threats. Rivers and coastal areas are being contaminated by agricultural chemicals and plastic waste, which directly affects aquatic species. Our coral reefs, which are considered among the most important in the Caribbean, are being bleached and destroyed due to rising ocean temperatures. Additionally, rising temperatures are causing shifts in ecosystems that many species cannot adapt to quickly enough. It has been reported that several species in amphibians, which are known to be very sensitive to environmental changes, have already disappeared from areas which were they were once commonly found. Fourth, invasive species represent another serious problem that is often overlooked. Animals and plants that are introduced from other regions can compete with native species for food and space, sometimes uh, causing the complete disappearance of them. The mungus, for example, was introduced to the island decades ago to control snake populations, but it has since become a predator of native birds and reptiles, causing severe damage to local systems. Beyond the ecological consequences, there are also significant economic impacts that must be considered. The Dominican Republic relies heavily on tourism, and much of that tourism is attracted by the natural beauty of our landscapes, beaches, and wildlife. If our ecosystems are destroyed, the tourism industry could suffer enormous losses. National parks such as Jaragua, Armando Bermudez, and Los Haitises are visited by thousands of tourists every year, generating income for local communities. These parks could not function without the biodiversity that makes them special. Therefore, protecting nature is not only an environmental responsibility, it is also an economic necessity. I would like to take a moment to highlight some specific species that are currently in danger of extinction in our country, because I believe that giving them a name and a face can make these creatures feel more real and personal. The Hispaniola solenodon, the Hispanic parrot, known locally as the cotorra, which is considered a symbol of our natural identity, the leatherback sea turtle, and a lot of animals which are also in almost extinct. Despite this difficult situation, there is still hope. Several solutions should be implemented urgently at both the governmental and the individual level. On a personal level, each one of us can make a difference. We might think that our individual actions are too small to matter, but that is not true. Reducing plastic consumption, not throwing trash in our rivers or forests, choosing environmentally responsible products, and spreading awareness on social media are all actions that can contribute to the protection of our biodiversity. We must remember that every great change in history has begun with individuals who decided to act. At the community level, people could participate in reforestation programs, support local conservation organizations, and avoid buying products that are made from endangered species. Tourism companies should promote ecotourism, which can generate income for local communities while protecting natural habits at the same time. Well, to conclude, the extinction of species in the Dominican Republic is a serious problem that must be treated with urgency and responsibility. Our island has been blessed with an extraordinary natural wealth, and it is our duty to protect it, not only for ourselves, but for the generations that will come after us. We cannot afford to wait for someone else to solve this problem. The government must act, must act. Communities must get involved, and every individual should take personal responsibility for the impact they have on the environment. The time to act is now, because every year that passes without action is another year in which species are lost and ecosystems are damaged beyond recovery. As the great naturalist David Attenborough once said, no one will protect what they don't care about, and no one will care about what they have never experienced. Let us make sure that the people of the Dominican Republic can continue to experience, admire, and be inspired by the extraordinary wildlife that our island has given. Thank you very much for your attention. I truly hope this presentation has inspired you to reflect on how we can all play a part in protecting the beautiful and unique wildlife of our Dominican Republic.